Hey guys, welcome back to our channel Accounts Gurukul. Learn accounting online. So today we are here with one more video, and this video we have created based on the request of one of our viewers. And in this we are going to discuss about fixed deposits. Related to that, what entry we have to pass when we are doing a fixed deposits. Related to the accrued interest, what entry we have to pass for that, how the TDS receivable is going to come into the pictures, and what entry we have to pass when the FD is matured. So that's entire the cycle of the fixed deposits, from depositing FD to having the matured with FD with us and we got the amount from the bank. So this entire cycles we are going to discuss through the practical example. So request viewers to watch the video till the end and like the video, share the video, and subscribe our channel to get the more practical knowledge related to accounting and finance. In addition to that, if you want to go for any sort of training related to accounting and finance, you can reach us on our email ID plus accounts.gurukul@yahoo.com. So here we are. This is the practical examples from the accounts Gurukul has deposited on 1st April 2022 for 1 year as a fixed deposit with SDFC Bank. FD matured and received amount on 1st April 23 with statement stating FD principal amount is 10 lakh and the interest is around 1 lakh less TDS is 10,000, that's a 10K, and the net amount we received is around 10.90 lakh. Then how you are going to pass the entry into the system for each and every stage, that we are going to discuss here. The first, the entry, what we have to post as on 1st April 2022 related to the deposit, what we done with the bank for 10 lakh. For that, what entry we have to pass? That's going to be SDFC fixed deposit account is going to be debit to money is going out. So bank account is going to be credit and the amount is a 10 lakh. SDFC fixed deposits going to park into the current asset, and this bank account again it's going to be reduce this balance from our bank account, and this is related to being FD being amount deposited for FD. Okay, so we have deposited amount for FD, and FD what we have for 10 lakh. So this is SDFC fixed deposits account debit for 10 lakh, and the two bank account is 10 lakh. So money is going out from our the bank. Now the FD is going to be matured on 31st March, but we received the amount as on 1st April 23. Then when you are closing your books as on 31st March 23, what entry you have to pass for that? You have to pass the entry for accrued interest as on 31st March 23. So as on 23rd March, you have to pass the entry for accrued interest. Now, knowing that this is we are going to consider as accrued interest and we haven't yet received that amount, and we are taking the entry as per the accrual concept of accounting, and we are taking into our books as a accrued interest. So we have to debit to accrued interest account debit instead of the SDFC fixed deposits account, because we have creating the accrual in the books. So accrued interest account debit, that's related to after deducting the TDS amount, how much we are expecting. The 1 lakh is the total amount, and the TDS is going to be deducted 10,000. So 90,000 is going to be considered as accrued interest account. The amount what deducted for TDS, that's our TDS receivable account, and that's also is our asset, is going to be debit. That's 10,000. And two, interest on FD account, interest income instead of interest income on FD account, and that's going to be credit is 1 lakh. This is going to be parked towards the assets. This is also asset, and this is towards the credit to P&L account as an income. So the accrued interest entry, this is related to being accrued interest entry on FD. So fixed deposits. So related to accrued interest, we have to pass such kind of entry, or this entry into the books is accrued interest account debit. That's going to be parked towards the assets. TDS receivable account debit, whatever the TDS amount is deducted, that also going to be parked towards the assets. And to interest income on FD account, that's 1 lakh credit to P&L. Knowing that this interest is related to the financial year 2023, so we have to take this entry based on the accrual concept. But now, as on 1st April 23rd, the FD is the amount of this FD we received in the bank, then how you are going to do the entry for that? So, as on 1st April, the 1st April 23rd, whatever the amount you received, first you have to debit to your bank account is going to be debit. The amount is received 10,90,000. Then whatever TDS receivable deducted by the bank or SDFC is going to be debit here again as a 10,000, and two, we have to credit to SDFC fixed deposit account. It's going to be credit is around 11 lakh. Now, if you see here, in a first, the SDFC fixed deposits account is debited 10 lakh, but here we are crediting 11 lakh. So 1 lakh is here is a credit balance in SDFC fixed deposit account, and that's related to interest. So we have to close the SDFC fixed deposit account. So we have to take the entry for this as well. And if you see here related to accrued interest, first we have debited 90,000. Then the TDS receivable account is 10,000 and interest on income is 1 lakh. Here again, we are debiting the TDS receivable account as a 10,000. So now the one more entry we have to pass as on 1st April is that. So this SDFC account is created with 11 lakh. So first we have to debit to SDFC account is for 1 lakh, and we have to credit to interest on FD account for 1 lakh. Now, if you see, the SDFC account is going to be 0. So if you see here, the SDFC account, first we debited for 10 lakh, then here we debited for 1 lakh, and here we have the reversal of 11 lakh. So you can see here, the SDFC account is 0. Now, the next, what we have is related to accrued interest. So here, and nothing is related to that. Then TDS receivables, we have debited here. And again, we have debited TDS receivable here. So in TDS receivables, we have the 20,000 balance instead of 10,000. Now, coming back to interest on income. So here we have the interest on income as a credit, and again we have credited here. So the 2 times interest on income is there, and the TDS receivable also. Now what we have to do, this accrued interest entry, what we have posted, that we need to do the reversal of that. And that the reversal entry we have to pass for accrued interest account is credit for 90,000 and to TDS receivable account credit, and here we have to debit interest on FD account is going to be debit for 1 lakh, and this is going to be 2, and this is also is going to be 2. You can mention here being reversal of accrued interest. Now you can again recalculate what's the balance in each account. So here accrued interest we have debited as a 10,000, 90,000. Then this is 90,000, and you can see here we have done the reversal of 90,000. Now related to the TDS on receivables, so 2 times debit, and here is 1 time credit through the reversal entry. So only the 10,000 is there related to the TDS receivable, and the interest on FD we have debited here. So interest on FD is around 1 lakh. So this is the actual entry we have to pass into the books. Now, if you see related to the this current financial year, how it's going to be impact. So if you see here, first we have debited TDS receivable as a 10,000. Then again, we have done the reversal here 10,000 through the reversal of our accrued interest. Then the TDS receivables, if you see here, this 10,000 and this 10,000 and this 10,000. So if you see here, the TDS receivables, you are able to see is 10,000 debit, and through the reversal is a credit 10,000. So impact is 0 for this financial year. If you see the interest income on FD, it's a 1 lakh, and through the reversal entry, it's debited again the 1 lakh. So the interest on FD also, you can see it's a 0 impact in the books for this current financial year. Now, what's left with us is the accrued interest is related to 90,000, and this is from the balance sheet. So it's going to be reversed through our earlier accrued interest. Related to the SDFC fixed deposits, 1 lakh is going to be debit to SDFC account is related to 1 lakh, and earlier one what we have is around 10 lakh, and the credit what we have here is 11 lakh. So SDFC fixed deposit account also is going to be 0. So this way we have to pass the entry related to the fixed deposits. When we are going to do the fixed deposit in the bank, this entry we have to pass. That's SDFC fixed deposit account debit to bank account credit. Related to accrued interest, the accrued interest account debit, TDS receivable account debit to interest on FD account credit. And when we actually receive the amount, whatever the net amount we have in bank, that account is going to be debit to our bank account. The TDS receivable account is going to be debit for 10 lakh, and to SDFC account is going to be credit for 11 lakh. Whatever the interest component are there, that's the SDFC account is going to be debit, and the interest income account is going to be credit for that interest amount. And then we have to do the reversal of our earlier entry, what we have posted uh, when we were closing our financial year. So this way, you have to take the impact of interest entry, accrued interest entry related to the fixed deposit. So that's all from this video. Thanks guys for watching the video till the end, and request viewers to like the video, share the video, and subscribe our channel to get the more practical knowledge related to accounting and finance. If you want to connect with us, you can reach on our email ID, that's accounts.gurukul@yahoo.com. Thank you.